Okay, so let's take a look at how you can draw the bar plot in Python using Matplotlib library. So first thing, we can go to terminal or command prompt, and here I'm going to use pip to basically install Matplotlib. So pip install Matplotlib. Once we install this, what will happen is we'll be able to use this library to generate our bar plot, right? Also, one more thing would be to trying Jupyter server, where we can plot this through the notebook. So we can type in Jupyter lab, or you can also type in Jupyter notebook. Either one of that should work, right? The Jupyter notebook would give you the classic interface, so you may want to check out on which version you want to check, the classic interface or the Jupyter server's new interface, right? And next thing would be to see that the new window that opens will be from your default web browser. So in my case that is Edge, right? So if we go to new, and here let's see if I create a Python 3 notebook, we'll be able to run the code within this notebook, right? So first thing, we can type in import matplotlib, then dot pyplot as plt. Next thing, I'm going to collect some data for x and y. So a, right? So let's say a, then b. Make sure everything is uppercase, as we are going to display that on plot, right? So we got x, then we also need y here. So for data for y, let's go with 3, 5, 10. So we have x and y. We also have our import statement. Next thing is we are going to use figure and axis to plot on our subplots, right? Then we will use axis dot bar. This is the statement that will take x-axis data, and for height it will take value of y, right? Finally you can use plt dot show. Right now if I run this, so if I select this and run this, or simply using a cursor here, it should start the processing, and it will tell you if there are any errors. No model name matplotlib dot pylot, sorry, so there is a spell mistake, so it should be pyplot, right? So let's select again and run, and there you go, we have our first bar plot, where, right? So we have our bar plot. Now as you can see, we managed to put up custom label for x and y values, right? The next thing, we can also replace these label values with some numeric values. So we go with, say, 1, 3, 4. So if I select this and run, it should show me that respective values on x, right? So we can have both these string labels as well as numeric array, right? We can also add group labels. So for that I can use labels, right? And here we can set the group 1, group 2, then group 3, right? So we have our group. Next thing, we also have our bar statement, where I'm going to use take underscore label set to labels, right? So now I can run all of this to see group labels being our plot. So group 1, group 2, group 3 part of this, right? So the value that we passed here through take labels, right, that will be taking our labels, right? So we managed to create numeric value for our x. We also created string, and then we also added group labels, right? We can also adjust the width of these bars. To do that, what we can do, let me get rid of labels and try out widths. And say if I choose 0.3, 0.6, then 1.2 higher value, then instead of tick labels I will just try and mess with width set to widths, right? So if I select all of this para and run this, you will find that the width of these bars is also changed, right? So we managed to do this so far. So we can go ahead and make even few more changes. We can keep everything as is, making one big change here, which is x dot bar h. So bar h, we have value of x, then width set to say y, and we will get rid of this width statement. Now bar h function would render our xy values on that horizontal bar, right? And here you see horizontal bar. Previously it was vertical, now the value of x tilted, right? So we have to invert the values as well. So to do that, what we can do, so we can use x dot invert then y-axis, right? So if we do that, we will have y-axis inverted too. So we got y-axis inverted here, right? So you get the idea. So far we managed to do both vertical and horizontal bar chart. We managed to invert the y-axis for horizontal chart, and in case of vertical we managed to show the typical labels, numeric array, then we added our string values to our x-axis, we added group labels and created groups within x-axis, right? We can also add some colors, right? So let's see if we try and make a few changes, like let's see here, let me keep this as is but add some distance, right? So here let's say after width I choose to add one parameter called color, right? And then I will use double quote dark sea green, right? So if I select all of this and run, it should show me this particular color. So plt.show, right, it's available here. Now let's see if I want to customize field color and then pass it through a particular custom value, so we can use colors, and let's see, we can use color palette, right? So color hunt, and here let's go with some sort of color, right? So this looks good. So I'm going to use this particular 3 colors, and if you can also pick these 3. So let's use colors, and within that particular array we can use this particular double quote within which I will add first color, right? So I will have to use hash, however, then I use comma, double quote again, then this color, then hash, right? And then double quote, then hash again, right, and this particular color, right. So we added this color, and instead of custom color here, you can use colors, right. Now if I run this, let's see if it changes anything. Okay, it managed to take these three colors from our color array and managed to plot it on our bar chart, right. So we managed to do this much, but there are a few more things you can do. You can add transparency using this parameter alpha, right. So if I choose 2.5, it would also show that sort of transparency, as you can see, right. Also I can adjust the line width and edge color as well. So keeping the colors to the same alpha, I can remove, and then I can use edge color, and let's say edge color I can use something like dark sea green, and then line width, let's say set to 2, right. And now if I try to change this, and running the code should change the border color for my bars. As you can see, bars now has this color. Again, simply use black to show you the difference, right. So run this and you have black bars like this, right. So what we have done so far, we tried vertical bar plot, we changed some of its parameters and seen the different results. Then we added horizontal bar chart, changed its color, its transparency, inverted its axis, right. So these are some of the things that we have done with the help of Matplotlib. So you can draw this bar plot using Matplotlib data visualization package in Python.